Okay, here we are back again with the steam engine generator test rig and the old Bowman M101. We're just waiting to get steam up. What I've done is, for the time being anyway, I have changed out the filament lamps in the bulb holders for LED lamps. Now these are 6-volt LED lamps, and just hoping that we'll get a bit of a better light show out of it, because obviously they don't draw anywhere near as much current. Now I've got some lower voltage, lower current filament lamps on order as well, which I'm also intending to try. But this generator sadly doesn't seem to produce an awful lot of voltage or current. Certainly not being when it's run from the Bowman. With the results from the last test, when we changed out one of the filament lamps, then we were able to get the LED bulb to light up quite well. So I'm fairly hopeful that we should be able to get these to light up. One little tip about these bulbs is, I'm sure you're all aware of this, filament lamps are not polarized, so it doesn't matter which way around you wire a filament lamp up, but these MES LED bulbs are polarized, so you do need to make sure that you've got the positive and negative around the right way on the bulb holders. Right, let's come back out again. See whether we've got enough steam up for a... Yeah, there we go. Off we go. So we'll go over and have a look at the that's reading about 5 volts. Whoops. And it's lighting all of those up quite nicely. I'll turn some... There you go. But of course it's drawing hardly any current. That's probably less than 100 milliamps total. Let's turn one of these back on here. Voltage is about 5 volts, I think. Which is climbing as we turn the lamps off, and we're now up to about 7 volts, I think. But as I said, that's obviously going to give you a better show, due to the fact that these don't draw anywhere near as much current. Lock that. You can hear the load on the Bowman as I do turn the lamps on, though. Very definitely is making a difference. But yeah, I mean, that's doing the job. Certainly lighting those up without any problem. And as I turn them off, the voltage does creep up. We've got about 8 volts now on the meter. Yeah, I mean that's a successful test. And you can definitely hear the load being applied to the engine. Okay, well, that's about it for this test. Hopefully we'll come back and do the same thing again with some different lower voltage, lower current filament lamps and see whether we can get it to do something with those. Okay, back again with the old steam engine generator rig. Slight modification or upgrade, shall we say, to the actual rig itself. Let's go over and have a closer look. Yeah, I've changed out the 0 to 5 amp ammeter for a 0 to 500 milliamp ammeter, which should hopefully give us a much better reading of what's going on current wise, because the original one was just way too coarse a scale. So we'll try it initially with the LED bulbs, but then these came through, which I've been waiting for. Now these are filament lamps and they are 6 volt 60 milliamp, so I'm hoping that the generator will produce enough current to actually run those. So anyway, let's get some steam up. Well, I think we've got steam, so let's give it a spin. There, we're off. Right. Okay. Right, so let's move over to the actual generator. Right, so at the moment we're reading about 5 volts, so we'll try turning these on. Yeah, so that's much better. We've got a much better current reading now than we did have before. There we go. Yeah, so we're reading at about, with the full load, with all of the LED bulbs on, voltage has dropped down to about 4 volts, and the milliammeter is reading almost spot on 50 milliamps. So and you can hear the pitch of the engine change as the load is taken off. Yeah, so that's pretty much doing what I would hope it would do. Obviously the generator here is able to supply enough current. We've got 50 milliamps coming out of it. So what we'll do now is we'll take the LED bulbs out and switch them for the new filament lamps. Okay, we've got these 6 volt 60 milliamp filament lamps in now. Now each one of these takes more current than all of the LED bulbs together we're drawing, so it'll be interesting to see what happens when we try this. Now while I was changing the bulbs, I did actually take the burner out, so we're not at full pressure at the moment, but we'll let it run for a bit. So we've got about 6 volts on the yeah, so that's one filament lamp, and it is lighting it, but it's not particularly bright. So if we knock it up to 2, yeah, see, it's dropped, the voltage has dropped right down. Current is wavering about 60, 70 milliamps. So, which is pretty much what I thought, but we'll let it, so we'll see whether the voltage, because once this has been running for a bit, the voltage does tend to climb, the RPM gets up on the Bowman. So I've also clamped both the generator box and the Bowman to the bench this time, because they were both moving around the first time I did this. So well, the voltage is climbing. We've got coming up on 7.5 volts now. At least it's lighting the filament lamp now. Not staggeringly bright, but it is lighting it. And we're vaguely getting 2 on. But obviously that's about the limit of it. We put another one on, it kills it. Anyway, I'm much more happy with the milliammeter now, because it's we're actually getting a reading on that, whereas it hardly reading at all on the other one. What's going on? Let's turn the light back on as well. There we go. So yeah, that's a lot better. Now we're creeping up towards 8 volts, so this is pretty much flat out on the moment. I suppose another interesting thing is now I've got the Empire B34 variable speed unit. It might be worth trying that, because we can up the RPM that way. See what effect that has. But no, I'm pleased that this is doing its job. I think I will probably go back to having a mixture of filament lamps and LED lamps. But no, it's definitely working. It's doing its job. Alright, well, that's going to conclude the this part 2 video on the scratch-built steam engine generator rig. Hope you enjoyed the video, and thank you very much for watching. Cheers!